Guys, what's up? It is Doug from Spooky Villages, and welcome to another edition of Spooky Villages, brand new for 2020. Today I have the Dead Zone construction piece from Lemax Spooky Town. And apologies for not being on camera. Actually, this week I have no spot to film due to my moving, so apologies. I didn't want to delay the video though, so I'm doing it old school with just a voiceover. So I have to say that Dead Zone construction is actually quite a nice surprise to me, because whenever I saw this, when all the buildings were released earlier this year, I wasn't that impressed, just because I guess it seemed a little maybe toyish and a little silly. I have to say though, in seeing it in person, it looks great. And once again, fantastic lighting on this piece. You know, last week I talked about the Ghoulish Gourd Pub and Grill. Dead Zone Construction's lighting, while the piece isn't as big, is at least as good, at least in what all is going on. Now, the theme of this is that of a spooky construction site. It's actually very much, Spooky Town, right, in the name. Well, that's what this is, a Spooky Town piece. So I know that's gonna be divisive for some, because it's not a traditional haunted house or anything like that. It looks like they're actually building a haunted house, though. The facade here sure looks like it, which is pretty cool. They even have gargoyles out there. But the actual, piece itself is that of a construction site, which isn't inherently scary. But still, it looks really cool though, and it would work great in like a town square section of Spooky Town. I know a lot of folks do that with the restaurants or the bars, even like the Ghoulish Gourd Pub and Grill. It would kind of go with that as far as the town theme. But a lot of folks use that theming. And as far as that goes, I do think it looks very good. I think the details here are great. So you can see here all the lighting on it, and it's animated very well. So the crane on top is also not attached, it's magnetized. So when you store it, you actually have to put the crane on there. I think that's a big plus, because an arm like that, if it was to just be sitting in the box, that would be dangerous to break, but it's magnetized. So you just basically assemble it, and you also hang the little dude who is on the chain. You hang him there, and that's really all you need to do for assembly. The back of it, the snake piece, it looks like on the side, it looks like a snake, but it's actually sort of like a shovel, like a steam shovel type getup. Really cool theme, very well. It also, in design, it reminds me of the pins and needles last year, how it had those spines on the side. Same idea. I think it works well. But as far as the animation goes on this, as I mentioned, there's a lot going on. So that crane arm, it swings back and forth. There's a guy with a wheelbarrow who actually moves forward and back, and he kind of has a little bit of a dumping motion to where it looks like he's actually dumping below, and the soundtrack goes along with that. Those are the only two pieces of animation, but there's a lot of dynamic lighting that makes it look more animated. It seems to be that's the theme that Lemax really is going with in recent years, is maybe one or 2 points of animation, but a lot of dynamic lighting where the soundtrack goes along with it that kind of adds different scenes to it. And the most vibrant part of that would be, well, one is the welder. There's a small welder who it actually does look like he's welding the way that the light is. But then there's the guy below who looks like he's biting into the high voltage line, and it's great with the sound effects because it's like he's being electrocuted. It's a very bright white LED, and same with the welder guy. And I think those look really great to sell the whole welding thing, or the electric spark thing, because a lot of times the lighting in Spooky Town isn't white per se, right? I think that's fairly unique to this piece. There are some others that have that color, but usually it's orange, yellowish, or your greens or purples or even reds. But it's a pure white light, and it's quite striking, especially if you have it in a townscape, because you don't see a lot of that color. Fit and finish on this, it looks a lot less toyish. It looks more muted, and I think that looks good. It looks a little fatigued, a little dirty, which it sells the whole theme, right? The whole Dead Zone construction vibe to it. And just lots of great details throughout it. So yeah, guys, seeing it in person has really grown on me. That's the thing, right? These buildings in pictures, they just look different than they do in person and when they're lit up. That's just how it is. And I guess I'm thankful for that, because if it wasn't that way, I really would have never started my channel. That's the whole reason I started Spooky Villages. Whenever I got into this hobby, I would always see pictures of the buildings, but sometimes there wasn't much video, especially when it's lit up at night. It was hard to find that, or hard to find good video of it, so you could really see what these pieces do. This is a piece that I think looks much better in person than it does in the pictures. And I think whenever it releases this summer, I think a lot of people are probably going to come around on it, because I had read some negativity online specifically about this piece, but I think it looks great in person. Again, the theme is not for everybody. I particularly, I'm not huge on this theme myself, the actual town, but it's cool that they're building a haunted house even. It's not like they're just building an office building or something. So, and the execution is very well done. People that like this theme, I think, are really going to like this building. So, all right, guys, that is Dead Zone Construction. Thank you guys for watching. As a hint for next week, I think we're gonna tap into your sweet tooth. Hope you're ready for some taffy. All right, here it is with the lights and sound.